Immunity, energy, guacamole, sugar me. That's me, Chloe.
Oh, it's the kid getting words. Podcast on blast, giving you the real talk, no holding back. Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. There's always a silver lining. We'll set you free, so join the movement. Let's change the game with the Can't Get Any Worse podcast.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Can't Get Any Worse podcast. How are we all today? I hope we're all well and just ripping into whatever fucking day it is in your world. But my God, I'll kick it off. I feel very stressed for some reason today, okay? Now, I feel like I have a lot going on today, none of which actually personally involves me. I mean, one thing kind of does. I'm just waiting for Knucklebet to get back to me to approve a post, which I sort of do need to put up before the UFC fights go down today. So I don't have notifications turned off, because if that message does come back through from them saying fucking lick it and stick it, then I've got to pause the podcast, go post it, and yada, yada, yada. But before we get into the next reason why my day's chaotic, let's break down whatever the fuck that opening clip was.
Hey y'all, let's get it going. Immunity, energy, guacamole, sugar me. That's me, Chloe.
Jesus Christ, what a way to kick off a Tuesday, guys. I think Chloe there is definitely between medications. Holy fuck. She has a lot going on. Sounds like someone just shook like wellness influencer with meth head together, and that's what came out. That was way too much energy. I hope that is not how you guys see me when you turn the podcast on. I hope you don't see me as that fucking figure right there. But anyway, let's rip into why my actually, this doesn't have anything to do with why my week's chaotic. I just thought I'd tell you how this episode is going to be structured. So if you listened to my UFC breakdown last week, I was of two minds of like how I got today's episode put together. Like I wasn't sure whether, like, obviously I wouldn't be able to capture how the UFC recap went today. So I've been playing around with some ideas, like, do I wait until next week's episode and do a recap then? But then I'm like, then it's out of everyone's head. It's a week gone. Everyone's going to be like, oh God, he's banging on about it a week later. In saying that, though, it would give me more time to really digest it and break down what the event was. Second thought was, do I just release a second episode this Thursday just called like UFC White House recap or something like that? And I was like, I don't have the time or effort for that. Plus it's chewing up an extra episode for no real reason. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't we push it to the limit today? Why don't we stretch the time, have a late night tonight, and basically record the first part of the podcast now. So everything all the way up to like just after my week in comedy or something. Then pause the podcast, go watch the fights, which are about to kick off in about an hour, let's say that. Then come back and just fill that last like 15, 20 minutes with a UFC recap, fresh in my brain. I've just seen it go down. My thoughts are going to be raw, real, authentic. So that's what we're going to do. But in saying that, that is going to leave all the editing and posting and shit very, very late this afternoon / tonight. And I have a gig tonight. Oh God. I just like to bite off more than I can chew and just drown, basically. Just drown. That's all I do around here. But let's rip through this first part of the podcast pretty fucking quickly, because like I said, we're going to be a little bit tight for time. So I don't even know how long this first part's going to go for. But stay tuned. Before we do rip into my stories this week, you know what it's time for, guys. It's time to crack a delicious can of Kamikaze. And my God, can you see just how cold that can is right now? That is freezing cold, and I'm excited to crack this can. Oh, delicious. So last Friday afternoon, my little care package arrived from Kamikaze. Shout out to them. Just packed full of delicious goodies. So let's have a little sip and rip into my stories. Oh, yeah. That's so fucking good. So that's the fire engine one. As I said, probably up there with one of my favorites. And I probably will be drinking that one the most on the podcast because they're like, what's your favorite flavor? Pick that one. And I've got a case of it. So that'll probably be my go-to podcast one. And then comedy gigs and stuff like that, that's probably where I'll dabble in the extra flavors, in the extra dark arts. Anyway, Tuesday night, we go back to last week, and me and Westy are chilling on the couch, okay? Now, as I've said, I am cautiously back in the world of sports betting. Thanks to our friends at Knucklebet. Everyone remember, gamble responsibly. You win some, you lose more. And ain't that the fucking truth? But I must say, I'm just having a good time doing it again, okay? It gives me a bit of joy throughout my day, just betting on the American sports and things like that. They're all taking place while I'm at my day job. So it's good to watch the scores and all that and see where the players are tracking and where my bets are at. So, again, not fucking encouraging any of this. So gamble at your own risk. But that took us to Tuesday night. I was sitting on the couch getting together my bets for Wednesday, and I like to put them on like the day before, so you get the better odds and before the lines drop and things like that. And obviously, Westy, I've spoken about how a few months ago I was teaching him about betting and odds and things like that. And I'll go down and I'll die on my sword. I potentially think like playing with odds and things like that is potentially the best maths that you can do in life. So he does enjoy that. And like I said the other week, he is a bit of a mathematician. Like yesterday, for example, I was trying to work out, it looked like two of my bets were going to pay off. I'm like, Westy, what's fucking 36 plus 48 or something like that within 3 seconds? Like quicker than I could have pulled my calculator out. He had the answer. And I'm like, there we go. I think, don't quote me, it was like $94 or something. Is that correct for all the mathematicians listening to this? Anyway, we're sitting there on Tuesday. I'm betting on some like hockey and some WNBA or something like that. And Westy's flicking through KO on TV. And he's like, there's no sports on Tuesdays. And I'm like, yeah, Tuesday nights are a bit boring. And he's like, oh, there's tennis. And he's like, he watched that for a bit. He's like, this is boring. And he just kept going. He's like, Dad, there has to be something on that I can watch. And I'm like, not really. Like, there's not much on Tuesdays. He's like, you don't know anything that's on, any sport. I'm like, look, there is one sport that's always on. And he's like, what is it? I'll take anything. And that is when I introduced Westy to the greyhounds. Now, I just want to go on record. I understand there is a lot of stigma around the greyhound racing markets and things like that. A lot of animal cruelty, all that sort of stuff. I'm not for or against any of that. Keep your fucking political stuff out of this. This is just a humorous podcast. This is some father-son bonding time over the dogs, okay? Now, I thought I'd have a bit of fun, much like my granddad used to have with me and my dad used to have with me. Pick a dog, pick a color, pick a number, pick a name, pick anything you like. Now, my granddad is and was heavily involved in the racehorse industry, okay? And I remember a couple of times he used to take me to the races, and he used to sort of like hit me up. Like, and that was cool when you'd go to the races because I'd have like the dude with the fucking board behind him. He'd have his top hat on. He'd be like, what do you want to pick? It was like a show. It was actually cool. It's much better than just pulling your phone out and looking at fucking the odds and shit. And he always used to be like, oh, pick a racehorse, and I'd pick it. And every now and then, like, I'm not going to say I was some sort of like prophecy child or anything like that, but every now and then I would pick a winner. And I don't even remember if they were like good odds or bad odds or something. It was just cool as a kid to go to the races and pick a winner. And I just remember like my granddad used to be like, look at me with such pride as if to say, oh, my son is going to overtake the horse racing world at some point. Now, that was never going to happen because I'm allergic to horses, okay? He used to take me to the horse stud and my eyes and throat used to like just drip with fluid and like my throat would swell up around all these horses. And all Granddad's workmates would be like, what the fuck's wrong with that kid? And he'd be like, I don't know. I'm so fucking embarrassed. Go sit in the ute until I'm done. Now, that's a little glimpse into my childhood. Now we go back to the couch on Tuesday night. I'm sitting there with Westy, and I pull it out. I go, Westy, pick a dog in this race. And I'm like, could this be my golden goose? Could this be my way out of cabinet making? Gamble responsibly, everyone. I cannot stress that enough. So I go, Westy, pick a dog, pick a number, pick a name, pick anything. He picks a dog. It's not paying too bad odds. I think it's like the second or third favourite in the race. And I'm like, okay, throw a couple of bucks on that. Nothing crazy again. It's greyhound, so I'm not going to go nuts on it. I think I threw like $2 or $3 on it. It races, doesn't win. And I'm like, okay. Pick another one. Same deal. Doesn't win again. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just he's anxious about this is his first picks, things like that. Now he's got the rhythm of it. The next few are going to be winners. 5 fucking races I did this at. Lost probably 10, 12 bucks and didn't pick one single winner. So there goes my retirement plan. My retirement plan was Westy just picking greyhounds for me. And that crashed and burned in 5 consecutive races. So the bloodline of picking great horses or dogs seems to have skipped a generation. So I'm assuming Westy's kids are going to be born with the gift that I had. And just turns out that his gambling instincts are not hereditary. So he better fucking start balling the fuck out at basketball because I need him to pay for my retirement. But let me wheel this a little bit closer so I'm not reaching like a fucking weirdo. Speaking about basketball, ties us perfectly into it. It's almost as if I've structured this episode properly this week. I haven't, okay? That was a genuine fluke. So I'm going to take another sip of this kamikaze. Get around it, guys. As I said last week, code word is now live. Kami CGW. So KAMI CGW gets you 10% off the website and get you some of these fucking delicious drinks. They do pre-workouts and shit as well, which I'm actually pumping at the gym at the moment. And they do give you a nice little tingle at the gym. So taking a sip and we'll rip right in. It's fucking insane. I cannot believe it. All right. So Westy on Saturday had his last game of the season. And there must have been like an event or something at the usual place that he plays basketball because they sent in the group chat, they're like, new venue this week, don't go to the old place, blah, blah, blah. And Westy was quietly like excited. Like it felt like a genuine road game for him. Like, oh God, I got to hit the road, guys. Hey, don't stress me out on Saturday, guys. I've got an away game, okay? I got to travel for this. When I say travel, this court is actually closer to our house than his regular court. So wasn't exactly too much traveling. So he was excited to play basketball on a different court, which you can't blame him. I remember when I used to play footy as a kid, it was cool to go to like the different clubs and things like that, make up stories like, oh, I hope we're running that way because that corner seems to dip a little bit in that corner. We can use that to our advantage in the second half, you know what I mean? And just a bunch of autistic 12-year-olds trying to kick a ball. We had no idea how to pinpoint a kick at that age, but my God, did we all think we were Jonathan Thurston. So we drive him to the court. It's game time. We get out of the car. And I just try and do that like dad pump-up speech. I'm like, oh, Westy, it's your last game of the season today. Leave it all on the court. You know what I mean? And he's looking at me going, what the fuck does that even mean? Leave what on the court, Dad, you fucking idiot? And I'm like, yep, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, we cruise in there. And he walks into this venue as if he owns the fucking place. The swagger this kid had on his body, in the way that he walked, and I think he took my advice. I want to take full glory for what happened on Saturday. Played probably his best game, definitely best game of the season, possibly best game of his career. So I said last week we've got an abundance of subs at the moment, too many subs, and I don't know if it's because it wasn't at the regular venue, but some of the kids didn't rock up, which left us with about 4 subs, which is still too many, guys. We need like 2, max 3. And even though we had 4 subs, Westy ended up playing 3 of the 4 quarters, like full quarters. And I think, what was the final score? I don't even remember. It was like 18 or 20 or something their team scored. Westy scored 90% of those points. I think there was one other kid that got a basket. And I was like, holy fuck, this kid is out of control. And we're just like sitting beside parents of the opposition players, and they're all like cheering their kids on. And then Westy would make another basket. They're just sitting there, they're like, holy fuck, that kid's good, hey? And I'm like, I'm just quietly sitting there going, I taught him everything he knows, okay? Start acting like I coached him. But just so everyone knows, I have absolutely nothing to do with that. I have absolutely zero basketball knowledge or skill, and that's where our next story leads us. I'm slowly becoming a Logan Streetball legend, okay? Taking Westy to different courts around the area on weekends now. And look, I'm starting to think neighborhood kids are starting to recognize me. I'll jump out of the Navara, basketball in hand. I'll see the kids look up to me and go, oh my God, is that local streetball legend Jimmy Misson? Oh, God. And I just have to sort of give him the nod, and then I walk to the free throw line, completely make a fucking brick shot or an air ball, and just go, yeah, kids, a couple more years and you too could do this. But we went there yesterday, and luckily the courts were empty for this occasion. But I was there practicing my free throws as if like the NBA is going to cruise past, like Steph Curry's going to cruise past and go, God, I need a new guard on my side next year. What is going to help the Golden State Warriors win another championship? He's going to drive through Logan, see me making a free throw, and just go, that is what we fucking need. So I line up this free throw yesterday, and as I take it, I'm trying to get perfect form, things like that, things that I've seen on like TikTok and Instagram. And as I've stretched up my body and I'm at full extension and I just hook that shot, and as I'm up on my tiptoes, I just feel this like pop in my calf. Okay, I don't know how to fucking explain it, but it dropped me. I nearly called an ambulance. I'm clutching my calf in pain. I can only imagine if there were kids there just going, oh my God, streetball legend Jimmy Misson is out for the season. Who's going to teach us on these fucking street courts? Oh, God. And like, I wasn't even jumping or anything. This was literally just leaning up on my tiptoes and my calf just fucking pops. I still don't know what's wrong with it. It's not as sore today, but it's still pretty fucking tender. So I've got a fucked left meniscus and now my right calf. I could be out for the season, guys. So Jordan had the flu game. I got the calf game, okay? Just a 34-year-old career-ending free throw. Oh, anyway, let's bail out of that with another turns out it can get worse clip. Okay, guys, I need you. I wasn't going to do this, and I'm like, you know what? My listeners, they're up for it, okay? Broaden your horizons. Again, I love my disabled community. Let's see what this lovely lady's got to say in a wheelchair.
Disability is never going to stop me from living life to the fullest. I want to be Eiffel Towered.
Oh, God. For those that don't know, being Eiffel Towered is a sex position in a three-way. So everyone's got to have their dreams, okay? I've got my dreams. Her dream is achievable as well. Shoot for the stars, land in Paris, as they say. I hope that girl can be Eiffel Towered. And if any of my listeners are keen, shoot me a DM and I'll get you in touch with her. Last Monday, wrapped up the podcast, and I found myself in a scam, okay? I got fucking scammed, and to this day, I don't know if it was a legit scam. So oh my God. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should... Is there a way to, like, silence notifications at least? Anyway, wrap up the podcast last Monday. Phone rings, random number. Hello, James speaking. Then some Irish dude goes, hello, it is fucking John or something from crypto.com. And I'm like, oh, here we go. My crypto has never done anything good for me, okay? I invested at a high. It was the peak of the pandemic. I'm looking for ideas to get my family out of trouble. What if the world does crash? What if all our money is useless in the future? What do we need to do? And I start looking into crypto. I think at that stage, Ash and Adrian were heavily into it. So I'm like, okay, this is it. And this is when everyone was buying like NFT monkeys and all that sort of shit. And so I had a little bit of a look and I was like, okay, got tangled up in a couple of Reddit forums and the dark side of the web. And I was like, okay, this does make sense. So bought a bit of crypto, nothing crazy, just a little bit to sort of play around with it, you know? And Haven't really looked at it in the last 5 years, mainly because every time I do look at it, it's just dropped more and more. Like it's currently sitting at about half of the investment that I put in, which is absolutely outrageous. You know what I mean? And so I get this call and straight away it just starts sounding scammy as fuck. He's like, hey, I'm just checking. Are you in Milan, Italy? And I'm like, no. And he's like, I'm in Logan, Australia, just as glamorous as Milan. And he's like, oh, someone in Milan is trying to withdraw all your crypto. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, this sounds super scammy. He's like, oh, I get that all the time. And I'm like, what do you need from me? He's like, I'm going to email you a code and I need you to tell me that code. And I'm like, again, that sounds super scammy. And he's like, yeah, I get that. He's like, go on crypto.com. He's like, copy and paste that email address, paste it in there, and it'll tell you if it's a verified email from us. Sure enough, I do that. It says it's verified. He's like, okay, now the phone number I'm calling you on, put that in the verification box. Do that. Sure enough, that's verified as well. He's like, do you believe I'm from crypto.com now? I'm like, not really. And he goes, God damn it. I'm just ruining this guy's scam like step by step. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to read you anything. I'm not going to give you any information. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm like, send me an email from crypto.com if you need anything from me. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, look, all we're going to do, we're going to freeze your account for 24 hours so you won't be able to withdraw or deposit any money. And I'm like, that's fine. I haven't done that for 5 years anyway. And he's like, okay, perfect. So, yeah, crypto is the only investment where even the security warnings just like feel like scams. Like I trust a Nigerian prince more than I trust crypto.com's customer support line. So I've always been a firm believer. I've said this to multiple people. I feel like if I invested my initial crypto outlay into sports betting, I'd have more money today than I would putting it in crypto. But again, that's not an ad, guys. Gamble responsibly. Yesterday, I fucking had to do a bit of paving. Shout out to all my pavers and tilers and shit like that. I've said it before, we tiled our whole house and I would never fucking do it again. I hated it. And we've been doing front yard renos, as I said a couple of months ago, just bit by bit, brick by brick, if you will. Little paving joke for you guys. So yesterday, Westy was bored. He's like, can we do something in the front yard? And I'm like, oh. Now, I'd framed out, basically, I've built like what would you call it? Like a landing or an entrance to our front door, just like a little step up area. And so I framed that out when I did all the garden beds and things like that a couple months ago. And all that was left was to really fill that area with sand, level that out, put the pavers on top, then it's done. And I go, look, we can do that today if you want, or at least like 3/4 of it, what we could afford. And he goes, yeah, okay, perfect. Now I thought paving was a relatively easy job. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was quick, easy, get in, get it done. I thought it'd take 20 minutes just to lay a couple of bricks. Nah. I half laid this area twice. And both times I'd get to a certain point and it'd be running out of level the wrong way or just fucking not working. And I thought I'd nail this. It felt like I was like installing a kitchen again because I had to work to like 4 different level heights and like I had either side of the frame that I built up. So I had to work to those 2 points. Then I had the natural fall of the concrete for when it rains and shit like that. So that was working the opposite way to my frame. And my God, I just pulled the laser level out yesterday and I had to like level all this sand perfectly. It was such a fuck around. Like my knees are absolutely destroyed from bending down and paving it all day, every day. But every DIY video on YouTube just leaves out the emotional breakdown that you have. Like that'd actually be a pretty funny lane. That'd actually be pretty cool now that I say it out loud, just to do like my DIY projects around the house, but just include all my fucking irrational meltdowns that I have every single time. But yeah, 3 Bunnings trips later and I'm still not a qualified landscaper. So shout out to all you guys that do that for fun. Little marriage support segment here, okay? I was in the kitchen yesterday. As we all know, I'm on testosterone now. And there are some, what would you call it? Side effects, I suppose you could say. Symptoms, I suppose. Anything like that. But just some things that happen to your body when you start taking testosterone. Now, one of the things is what people will refer to as like puffiness, I suppose you could say. A lot of people in like the bodybuilding world refer to it as like moon face or moon man face or just things like that. Like you get a bit of swelling around this area, like the jaws and chin and things like that. I was doing something in the kitchen yesterday. Nikita was behind me. She goes, "What's wrong with your face?" And I've gone, wow, babe, that's the nicest thing you've said to me all month. What do you mean? She goes, "Oh, you can see like your whole jaw from like behind you. It sticks out past your neck now." And I'm like, wow, thank you so much. I turn around. She goes, "Your face is huge." Oh, God. It's good to know that this is how my wife flirts, okay? Now I just look like a giant thumb with a beard. So I think for the podcast, every episode after this one, I'm just going to come on with like a Rey Mysterio mask because I don't want all you guys in the comments blowing my shit up going, "Look at that dude with the fat moon man face." So I know you guys would never do that to me. Let's, before my week in comedy, let's play another Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip. Which one is this? Oh, okay. This lovely lady. Or, man, I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's hit play.
Weeks of finishing on my plant until it dies, and today I have to finish 4 times because I am better than you and the people demand it. This plant is the first thing I'm going to be finishing on today. Overall, it looks fine. The only weird thing about the plant is now that there's a lot of very noticeable white crusties on it, but overall, pretty good looking plant. The other 3 I have to do, I'm planning for Pride Month. I'll let you interpret what that means.
White crusties is fucking disgusting, okay? That could be the episode title. Some things just don't need documenting, do they? Like, that plant is a fucking victim, okay? We need to start a GoFundMe for that plant. All right, I'm pausing the podcast. I think I just got that message that I needed. One sec. All right, I'm back. Okay, it wasn't the message. They just tagged me in something else that I just had to throw up on my stories. But my week in comedy. All right, let's quickly rip through this and then I'm going to go and get ready for the fight. So Wednesday night, I had the Jungle Bar. First week it got cancelled with Origin. Second week was Parker's birthday. And this week I finally fucking got there. So third attempt lucky. I rocked up and 3 audience members there. So the room runner goes, "Yeah, it's a bit of a quiet night." Now, I'm not going to... okay, I just got the message to say approve it. Stay right there. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to get it posted before the fights go down. Otherwise, if it does get through, people will be like, "Oh, fucking posting your slips after the fight card." Now I've lost my run sheet. My God. I'm going to have some fucking editing after this one, but it's all right. As I said, Jungle Bar, 3 people in the crowd. Not going to hold that against the room runner or venue because this shit happens in comedy every single time. Now, the last few times I've done the Jungle Bar, it's been sick crowds and a sick gig. So I went up there, tried to have a positive attitude. I was up last, so I was like, fuck, I just want to rip the Band-Aid off and go home. But, yeah, went there. Ended up just talking to the crowd for like a couple minutes, which I think you have to do when it's a light night like that. It went okay. Did a couple of new jokes. Finished on the home invasion story again, which was weird performing that to 3 people. Like felt kind of intense if I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it was a good little challenge. And yeah, at one point I was like, is this still classed as comedy or am I now home invading them? It felt like I was in a hostage negotiation. But yeah, then Friday night I had the Camp Hills Bowls Club. Never done that room before. Weird room setup, okay? I'll just say that. Sports bar at one end of the room, like an open door between. Then at the other end of the room, you got the bistro or restaurant. And then to the right of you, right of stage, that opens up into like the bowling, like lawn bowls area and more tables where families are having dinner. And then we've got the comedy room, if you will, that's attached to all those with open doors. And we're trying to make people laugh. So, families everywhere and things like that. And I was at certain points, I was trying to pick like who's actually part of the show and who is just hearing us talk for the fun of it. So yeah, the show kicks off. MC gets up there. Now, I wasn't going to touch on the MC, but this person has had enough jabs and thoughts about other people in the scene where I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's use my platform to say what I think about them. Now, this person has personally had a couple of jabs at me in the past and questioned my comedy. And I did not see this person as an MC, okay? Now, obviously, everyone can MC, but I was just very confused and I was curious to see how they went as an MC. Now, I'm going to be vague. I'm not going to say any names or fucking genders or anything like that. So at this stage, it's just a mysterious MC. Now, they get up. I position myself in a position where I can see what is about to go down. And they open with a what can only be described as an anxiety exercise. Now, they ask the crowd to start like shaking their hands and stuff, almost doing like spirit fingers from Bring It On back in the day. They're like, oh, I'm really nervous. I can assume you guys are nervous as well. So let's do this. And then they go, all right, let's start like rolling our necks and just doing like 2 minutes of anxiety reducing exercises. The crowd was confused. I was fucking confused. I'm like, what is going on here? I thought we were at a comedy show, not a fucking yoga retreat, you know? The crowd came for some laughs, not mindfulness. Anyway, they proceed to do their safe set, which they've done since I've started comedy. I've only ever really seen them do the one set. Which 60% of it is to do with like COVID jokes. And it's like, at some point we're going to have to move on. You know what I mean? But yeah, absolutely. This is the tricky thing. Okay. It's already a tough room in the setup and things like that. Now the MC is making it tougher as well for the comedians. And again, I've said this to everyone that I've spoken to about it. I'm not the world's most gun MC I don't claim that. Every time I MC, I say I did a shit joke. Every now and then I might say, oh, I fucking had a decent night. But yeah, that was it was really making the comedians work harder than what they needed to because the crowd was well and truly against us. Anyway, I got up there. I pretty much ran some classics, tried the yogurt joke again. It went okay. Did the home invasion story again, mixed up a couple of lines and sentences that I wanted to. And yeah, just filled some gaps here and there. So overall, felt relatively decent with what we had to work with. But yeah, regardless, relatively fun gig. Let's just say that. Let's play our last Turns Out It Can Get Worse clip for the week. Where did that go once I had to move all that around to get that clip sorted? This bad boy here. So
you and I, side by side, sunset to sunrise. You are my ride or die, till eternity ends, and even more so.
Oh my God, that is disgusting. Did they say something about and to beyond in that? Leave Buzz Lightyear out of your foreplay, okay? Let's just say that, everyone. If you're using Buzz Lightyear for your foreplay, there is something wrong. Anyway, a bit of news and sport before the UFC one. So obviously I'll finish this part and then I'll come back for the UFC. New York Knicks are your 2026 NBA champions, and my God, I am fucking hyped. I was so excited yesterday when it all went down. First title since 1973, so it has been a long time between drinks for them. I could not be more happy for a city to finally get that. And to be honest, this is how, like I said, I was doing the paving and stuff yesterday. So we had the game on in the background. I wasn't really watching it. In all honesty, I thought the Spurs were going to win yesterday. New York got the first two at San Antonio. They got those wins. First game in New York, the Spurs got up at MSG, and I'm like, oh, shit, Spurs might come back from this. Game four was one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. The New York Knicks are down by 29 points at one point. They're out of this. There's no chance they can win. Of course they can, because as Jalen Brunson said after, when they said, what was the only thing going through your head? And he said, believe. Oh my God. It just adds to his story even more. They come back from 29 points down. They achieve the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history just to make that story even bigger and stronger than it already was. And the Spurs, God, they looked tired and exhausted after that game. But there was I just thought they had at least one more win in them. One more win at home. Game 5, I thought was going to be a Spurs game, which is why I wasn't really watching it. I'm like, oh, the series isn't going to wrap up today. And sure enough, we're starting to tick over. Fourth quarter comes around. I'm poking my head in every now and then. And it's looking more and more likely. And I'm like, guys, we need to go and watch this last quarter. And the Knicks get it done. My God, it was absolute fucking scenes. Jalen Brunson, that's the story that I'd been following this whole final series. I bought a fucking card with a piece of his jersey in it. I haven't looked at like prices or anything on what that's doing today after all that shit yesterday. But written off his entire career, right? Not tall enough, not fast enough, not athletic enough. Everyone was like, he's going to be nothing. And then he takes the New York Knicks to their first title since 73. His dad was a New York Knick in the 1999 team, which made it to the finals but lost. Just literally storybook shit. Like, that is the type of shit that movies are made on. And then at the end of the game, just to top it all off, he obviously wins MVP. Then they go, do you know how many New York Knicks have put up 40 points in an NBA Finals game? And he's racking his brain, and they go, let me stop you there. You're the first person to ever do it. Holy shit. Does the story get any better or stronger? So, Jalen Brunson, just a fucking absolute hero. It's so cool. Like, Westy fucking has him on a pedestal at the moment. Both him and fucking Wembanyama from the Spurs. Yeah, it's so good that Westy has like someone like Jalen Brunson to look up to as like a sporting hero, because he's not all the like smack talk or I'm the best or anything like that. He's literally the most humble guy you will ever see. And he just goes out there and just puts his actions to work, and everyone fucking doubts him. Everyone hates him, and he just gets in there and gets it done. So I was absolutely stoked for him. But on the other flip of the coin, both Westy and I were absolutely devastated for the Spurs. Spurs are Westy's favourite team. Wembanyama is his absolute favourite player. And just to see how broken and shit they were after that game, as I said the other week, they're a young team. They're all around that 22, 23 age bracket. So they've got so many more years left in them in the NBA. I dare say, like, if you had a sneaky $20 laying around, fucking Spurs 2027 championship isn't a bad bet in my book. Gamble responsibly. It's annoying that it's not annoying. Like, it's a true thing. You have to say it. But every time I talk about like anything to do with that now, I have to say it. So yeah, Wemby was absolutely furious after the game as well, which is good. I think that fire is going to take him all through next season. And, I think we just need to get some better players around him. Like, Stephon Castle was one of my favorite players in the Thunder Spurs series, like in the semis. And he really dropped the ball in that final series. He was nowhere to be found. De'Aaron Fox, how does he have an NBA contract? One of the worst players I've ever seen touch a basketball. I understand he's a veteran now. He was probably good back in the day, but God, just the amount of times that he fucked up in that final series was crazy. Last little bit of NBA news. This has got me and Westy so fucking pumped. Everyone is asking the question, what's LeBron doing next year? Is he staying with the Lakers for one final year? Is he retiring? Is he done? Then our good friend Steph Curry puts out a cryptic message last week saying, going for a meeting with LeBron James. Oh my God. The rumor mill, it starts turning. Could LeBron James be going to the Golden State Warriors for one final season, for one final chance at one more ring? I would fucking love to see LeBron James in a Golden State jersey. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, all in the Golden State Warriors. I get they're all past their primes, don't get me wrong, but that's just like the Avengers retirement home, just coming for one last ring. I so badly want to see it, guys. Anyway, that's our first little half. I'm going to go see the UFC White House card, and then I'll be back soon. And with the power of editing, you guys won't even know that I've been gone. So I'll see you guys soon. Holy fuck. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. And if you watched UFC Freedom 250, you know exactly why I'm saying holy fuck. What an event. Where do we even start with that shit? Let's start with the main event, because that is what I am so fucking hyped on right now. Literally, I am recording this just after Justin Gaethje got the belts wrapped around his shoulders. Both belts, the undisputed lightweight title of the world and the UFC Freedom 250 belt, the all-Americaned out one. Wow, what a fucking fight. Again, I said this with Sean Strickland versus Hamzat. I give Sean Strickland 5%. I said this on the UFC breakdown. I give Justin Gaethje 5%. And again, that's all that fucking dog needed. The human highlight, Justin Gaethje, just epitomizing what the deep roots of UFC are all about and just getting it done. We have never seen Ilia Topuria look like that ever in any fight. He looked lost in there. I don't know if it's because of all the personal issues he's been going through the last couple of years or whatever, but Justin Gaethje, he just had the answer today. And like all through the walkouts and stuff, let's touch on that to start with. seeing the fighters come through the Oval Office where Bill Clinton got his dick sucked, insane scenes, okay? It's crazy. It's as if you can do nothing in that room anymore. Everything's already been done. Justin Gaethje makes the walk, and he does the walk with Dakota Meyer. So if you don't know Dakota Meyer, go look up the Joe Rogan episode with Dakota Meyer and go look up the Jocko Willink episode with Dakota Meyer. Absolutely insane story. He got the Medal of Honor and he just hates wearing it and stuff because basically he lost his whole team in war and he was the only survivor, and just a absolute legend of a bloke. And to see interviews and shit like that of how much he hates acknowledging like that Medal of Honor and like being put up on a pedestal after he feels like a failure because he couldn't save his team, to just put all that behind himself and just make that walk for this colossal event, that in itself was so fucking good to see. Justin Gaethje makes the walk, and you could just get I don't know. I feel like I've had this all week. You just know Justin Gaethje had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and if anyone was going to do it, it was Justin Gaethje. He has been doubted his whole life. Like I spoke about Jalen Brunson earlier in the episode. Just nobody thought he could do it. Even myself, I will 100% say, like I said, I had a 5% chance that I was going to give it to Justin. Now, the fight before that, which we'll get into, I was proven dead wrong, okay? Now, because of that, before this fight, had a sneaky $10 floating around. I'm like, oh, Justin Gaethje's a vicious dog in this fight. Let's gamble responsibly. And he just gets in there, gets it done. Ilia Topuria, hats off to him. He looked good in the first 2 rounds. I thought, like, there were moments where Justin was getting uppercuts in, and even by the end of the second round, Ilia's face was swollen and bleeding. Like I said, we'd never seen him like that. And I was just like, holy fuck, Justin might have a chance here. But Ilia was still getting those body shots in. That was what was hurting Justin, like, intensely. And then third round comes around. Justin puts on an absolute clinic of a round. Perfect round. And then Ilia's corner starts talking to the ref like, oh, can we get the doctor to look at his eyes? Every fighter knows you do not fucking get the doctor involved because they're going to call the fight regardless. Sure enough, the doctor comes and calls the fight. The referee, hats off to, who was the ref? I think it might have been, it's the British dude, Mark Goddard maybe? Sorry if I'm incorrect. Hats off to him because he got the doctor's advice. The doctor said, call the fight. He can't see. Mark went over there, had a chat to Ilia, and he goes, no, I'm going to let the fight continue, which I can't remember the last time that happened. Usually as soon as the doctor gives his remarks, the referee sort of has to stick to that. So shout out to that referee for just going, no, this is a fucking monumental event, and if I call this fight, I'm going to be the most hated referee in the world, even though it's not my fault. I didn't ask the doctor to get involved. The fighter did. So shout out to him. He lets the 4th round go around, and again, Justin just pieces him up. Another clinic of a round for Justin. And Ilia, someone in Ilia's team, I believe Ilia's brother said, no, we got to push through this. We've got to finish this fight. Ilia looked fucking dead on that stool. We've never seen him like that. I don't know. Again, is it the shit going on in his personal life? And if it is, you got to feel for the bloke. To be put on that such high of an event for your comeback, and you're not all there mentally, I could only fucking imagine, you know? And someone in his team just fucking threw in the towel, said, nah, that's it. So Justin Gaethje, the human highlight, is now the interim. He fucking, what's the word? When they put the interim belt and the normal belt back together? Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. He's the interim lightweight champion after all these years in his career. It's the last thing that he had to do. And I honestly thought he was going to retire if he did it. But Rogan hit him up and he said, I promised my mum I wouldn't make any decisions tonight. So who's going to know? Who knows what's going to happen? Is Justin going to retire the champion, or is he just going to fucking get another fight in? But I personally, it's the pinnacle, Justin. Retire now. Like, it is never going to get any better than winning that title after a crazy long career on the White House lawn. Justin has fought them all. He has literally fought everyone. And everyone he has fought, Khabib, Charles, fucking, who else has he fought? Max Holloway. They've all said, when they're interviewed, who hits the hardest? Justin Gaethje. You got the respect of the fighters. You got the respect of the fans now. Hang up the gloves. You've fucking done it all. But let's go to the co-main now. Wow. Again, just absolutely gobsmacked, okay? And speaking about gobsmacked, or is it Godsmack, that like metal band that has the tattoo on their chest? Cyril Gahn also has a gobsmack tattoo. Anyway, Cyril Gahn versus Alex Pereira. If you had asked me, hey, Jimmy, what's the safest bet on this entire card? Alex Pereira by knockout. Put the fucking house on it. Gamble responsibly, obviously. And wow, I guess the big question was, how is Alex Pereira going to look at heavyweight? And when he comes up against Cyril Gahn, who is an absolute specimen of a man at heavyweight, he didn't look incredible. Let's just say that. He didn't... You would imagine moving up, you'd have more power, but it just didn't seem like that was the way. And it just seemed Cyril Gahn was the better fighter in all aspects. He was quicker, he was stronger, and he just seemed to have an answer for everything that Alex Pereira was throwing out there. So Cyril Gahn gets the interim heavyweight title and wants to set up a fight with Tom Aspinall in Paris, which makes sense. I mean, Tom's British, close enough to Paris. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ, what happened there? And then Sugar Sean, another American, gets the win, and that was insane. So what I enjoyed the most about this is they didn't have the like normal walkout songs. There was just the live fucking, what's the word? Like Marine band, or I don't know what branch of the armed forces they were, but there was like a band playing all the theme songs and like singing and all that. And when Sugar Sean's song hit, my God, they fucking nailed it. That was one of my takeaway scenes of the entire card. Like watching Sugar Sean just walk out to like an a cappella version of Superstar by Lupe Fiasco. Absolute scenes. And then he goes in there, gets the knockout. One of my favorite fights of the card. Josh Hokett goes in there. Now, I put a reel up before this. I put a reel up this morning. I was talking about it earlier in the episode. I needed Knucklebet to approve it and things like that. I done a bit of assessing over the weekend, and I like to sneaky dabble at Josh Hokett by submission. Now, if you watch the fight, about halfway through the second round, Josh Hokett gets Derek Lewis down, starts to threaten the back, and I'm like, oh, God, he's going to do it. But he doesn't quite commit. All of a sudden, he finds himself in an armbar, like putting Derek Lewis in an armbar. And I'm like, there's a minute left. And I'm like, brother, this is going to fucking happen. And I don't know. He just didn't seem to commit to it. He didn't like twist his body in the right way to apply pressure to the shoulder and just could not get it in. But makes it to the second round and knocks out Derek Lewis. My God, he looked fucking good again. There were moments in that fight where I was worried for Josh Hokett. But again, he's just proved all the haters. Yes, I talk so much shit. The amount of shit you've ever seen in your life, but I can back it up because my God, can I bang with some big boys. Hoofy gets it done. Again, yes, it was a decent performance, okay? Let's give him that. But he hasn't blown me away. I still don't get what the hype is about. Tyson Fury came out in between Bo Nickel and the Hoofy fight and announces his fight with Anthony Joshua at the end of the year. Now, Dana White has put that together. So this is a fight that the boxing world has been trying to make for the last 10 years. Haven't been able to do it. Now that Dana White is dipping his toe in the boxing world this year, all of a sudden all these big fights that everyone wants to see in that world are happening. So Tyson Fury, he didn't really announce it. He goes, I'm going to let Dana announce it, but he sort of hinted at it. Bo Nickel gets it done against Dorcas. Dorcas was another one of my upsets of the card. I just fucking hate Bo Nickel, okay? I'll put it out there, but he got it done. Pretty impressive, okay? I'll give him that. Hats off to him. And to kick off the card, sorry we worked backwards for all this, but I just had to start with that main event because it was wild. Diego Lopez gets it done, and he looked fucking good as well. He copped a couple of shots early, but ended up getting it done in the second round, I believe, which means... I think it's been a while since this has happened, but another UFC perfect card where every fight finished by finish. The judges had the easiest night of their lives that night. They were not needed at all. They could have stayed at home. But all in all, the event, off the bat, insane scenes, okay? There was genuinely a moment at the start where it honestly didn't feel real, okay? Now, I got like mates and shit that vary from casual fan to fucking balls deep fan such as myself. And it was crazy the amount of messages I got today of like all the casuals and shit going, oh, this is fucking shit. The walkouts are taking too long. Or fucking, why are they doing this? This is shit. Oh my God, everything's shit. And then like the balls deep fans like me where they're just like, cunt, what are we fucking watching right now? This is insane. Like tears welling in your eyes type thing. And I'm not going to lie. I 100%, when Justin Gaethje, when they first showed him on camera and he started to make that walk to the octagon, I don't know what it was. Up until that moment, it was all fun. Like it was a fun event. It was cool. It was another crazy Dana White idea that he executed perfectly. And as soon as that music hit for Justin Gaethje, it was like the whole event hit me of like, what the fuck is going on right now? This is the UFC. 20 years ago, this was seen as human cockfighting. This was not sanctioned in a lot of states in the United States. They had to fight in fucking like casinos on Indian reservoirs and stuff because they couldn't get sanctioned. Only like 9 years ago, they could not fight in New York because it was illegal. And now fucking me and my mates were like sneaking DVDs and downloading it off LimeWire and shit in high school. We're like, oh, don't let your parents see this shit. And we're just watching the old goats just fucking have at it. And now it is on the White House lawn for the biggest sporting event of all time. My God, it makes you fucking proud to be a UFC fan. So shout out to Dana, shout out to the UFC. I honestly don't think we're ever going to witness another sporting event to that magnitude in my lifetime. So I don't know what else to say, guys. But yeah, it was absolutely wild to see. That'll do us for this week, I think. Shows to plug this week. If you want to see me do some stand-up, I will be at the Newmarket Hotel tonight, which you won't actually be able to make because this comes out tomorrow. I'll be at Good Chat Comedy Club Friday the 19th, and I'll be at a gig in Milton on Saturday the 20th. I don't know the location yet. I got hit up yesterday by a room runner saying, hey, want a gig in Milton? So I'll be somewhere in Milton on Saturday the 20th. Also, here's a little heads up, okay? This is actually the second half of this episode that I'm recording because I should have touched on this as well. The card got pushed back about 45 minutes because of lightning storms, which lightning was the only thing that could have ruined this card. And sure enough, the one day the lightning shows up and they pushed it back. So I came in here and I'm like, look, because of time frames and things like that, I don't think I'm going to be able to get in here and recap the event. So let's just fucking call it here. And after that card, I had to come in here and give you guys my thoughts because, God, it was fucking insane and I could not wait another week to tell you guys. So other than that, guys, if you've got anything to add to the show, send submissions via DM on Instagram at Can't Get Any Worse Podcast or shoot me a DM. I fucked that up. You know the drill, guys. Send me an email at can'tgetanywOrsePod@gmail.com. I appreciate you all. I hope you all enjoyed the fights as much as I did, and I will see you later.
Can't get any worse, we'll make you see. It's all